Wonder Woman 1984 is finally hitting HBO Max and theaters this coming Christmas, which is in just a few days. I saw the film and I'm here to give you my thoughts. Hey guys, welcome. Thank you for joining me in this discussion of Wonder Woman 1984. Before we get to that and my thoughts on the film, I want to make sure that you are liking, commenting, subscribing, and turning those notifications on so you don't miss any of the fun that we're having here at Guy at the Movies. Now let's talk shop. Let's talk about the movie. It's been a long road for Wonder Woman 1984 to see the light of day due to a lengthy delay caused by the pandemic. Now Wonder Woman has the distinction of being the first big budget blockbuster heading to HBO Max for free if you're a subscriber. We're not counting the witches, we're not counting Let Them All Talk. 2017's Wonder Woman film, directed by Patty Jenkins, was certainly an impactful film that made a mark in the DC universe and the superhero landscape. But does Wonder Woman 1984 live up to the hype? I'm ashamed to say I don't think so. Now let me first say, I am a huge DC Extended Universe fan. I will fight for Batman vs. Superman any day. But unfortunately, you have to call strikes when you see them, and I think Wonder Woman 1984 is a massive strike. It's not to say that the movie is without charm. There certainly is a charm to Wonder Woman that is brought on by Patty Jenkins' handling of the character and Gal Gadot's portrayal. But there certainly is an air of, I've seen this before. Everything that you get in this film is pretty much what you saw in 2017's Wonder Woman. We have two new foes. One starts out as a friend in Barbara, who is also Cheetah, played by Kristen Wiig, and then we get Pedro Pascal's Maxwell Lord. Let's start with Kristen Wiig. She was actually really great in this film. Seeing her in a superhero action flick is something completely different for Wiig, but she really pulled it off. She played the character well, she definitely brought Barbara to life, and when she turns into the Cheetah, which you'll see in the film how that happens, she does a good job with it. Our Mandalorian, unfortunately, Pedro Pascal, I think was a little shortchanged in the writing of Maxwell Lord. Maxwell Lord is a massive character in the DC comics. What we got here was really a dumbed down version that I think may have leaned too much into trying to be Trump-like and make us to the point where I think they lost focus of the character. He's not very menacing. And the ultimate storyline that you'll see play out in the film isn't really that convincing in terms of making him this massive, dangerous guy. It's a very, very convoluted plot. There are some shining moments, but those shining moments are really fleeting. The conversation that Diana's having with Barbara sitting at a dinner table at a restaurant. Chris Pine and Diana Prince walking through DC, and you're experiencing DC with Chris Pine's character for the very first time. But we did see a lot of that in the trailers. And the parts that I was really excited about, seeing more of Themyscira, you don't get much of it. You're going to see it at the beginning, and if you've seen the leaked opening scene, I guess it's not leaked because they put it out, but if you see the opening scene of Wonder Woman 1984, you've seen Themyscira, and that's the last you're going to see in this movie. In terms of action, a lot of it is kept to the very end. It's a slow build, it's a slow burn, as I like to say. This is a slow film. There is a lot of time spent on the individuals, but at the end of it, you don't really feel as though you learned anything new about the characters that really matter. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot's Diana Prince, is going to end this film at the same exact place, in my opinion, that she did the previous. If you were to skip over Wonder Woman 1984 and see Gal Gadot in, say, Justice League or, a future DC Universe film, I don't think you would be missing anything. She is once again focused on love when it comes to Chris Pine, and of course it's all about trying to figure out how she can be the best person that she needs to be in order to do what the world needs her to do. But we probably could have gotten there some other way instead of bringing back Chris Pine's character. And the main power of the film that Pascal's character is really obsessed with is really a little bit, underwhelming? Sure, what that power can do and what ends up occurring in the film in the greater society is definitely going to be something that we want to avoid if there's any way to do so in the real world. But for the sake of this film, I don't know. The pieces just did not fit together. You get to the end and you have some pretty great shots. You do see a CGI battle between Wonder Woman in her golden suit of armor and Kristen Wiig's Cheetah. However, it moves so fast and it's dark that I wonder if they're trying to cover up for the CGI there. It doesn't quite give you Cats vibes, but it's still a little weird looking. And this golden armor that I speak of, yeah, it looks great, but I don't know that there really was a purpose here. The way in which Diana defeats the threat here is not necessarily because of that suit, but other means. And so you're left with a film that was incredibly long and really didn't do much to move the bar. Let's talk CGI for a second. I was a little disappointed in it. There are many scenes where Gal Gadot looks as though she's on the same type of apparatus that was used in the 1970s Christopher Reeve's Superman films. When she's running, her feet really don't touch the ground. I mean, they do a better job with the Flash sprinting as much as he is. And that's all very shocking to me, because I wouldn't expect it to be that poor. I guess one way to put it is that there is a lot of cheese baked into this film. Wonder Woman in 2017 flew onto the radar and made such an impact because it was the first time we've seen this character handled the way that she was. Wonder Woman stood for something, and we saw exactly what the character was about. In Wonder Woman 1984, you're going to see the same. You're not going to see much different, and there's not going to be much character development. One of my overall issues with Wonder Woman 1984 is that the motivations of the villains are very muddled. Why are they doing what they're doing? Is it as basic as the film posits? It's very frustrating that there isn't a larger intent behind what they're doing that's more, I guess, maniacal and diabolical. The stakes just seemed very low. And when you watch it and you see sort of some of the things that happen in the last act, you're going to say, Joe, how the hell can you say that? But just think about how we got there. In a weird way, the main storyline almost took a backseat to the love story of Gal Gadot's Diana Prince and Chris Pine's character. Overall, I was rather disappointed. All of the actors involved definitely deserved more out of this film. Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins are still two of the GOATs for DC, and I do want to see more from them. But future Wonder Woman films are going to have to take a step forward and not just rehash what was done in 2017. And if there is a way to bring Maxwell Lord back into the fold and elevate him to a threat like we've seen with other characters within DC, then I'm all for that, and I would love to see more of him. But sadly, I have to give Wonder Woman 1984 a 2 out of 5. This is not where I thought I would be after watching it. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I've been hearing from a lot of you on Instagram that saw my review and are not happy with me. Please forgive me. This too shall pass. But I still recommend you check out Wonder Woman 1984 because, as always, these are my opinions. Yours may be very different, and as long as you're enjoying yourself, I'm on board with that. So guys, if you like this video, please make sure you like it, drop me a comment, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything going on with Guy at the Movies. Those notifications will make sure that you are in the know. And for more content, be sure to follow Guy at the Movies on Instagram at Guy at the Movies, go to guyatthemovies.com for daily movie news, and follow along on Guy at the Movies 1 on Twitter for my random musings.